and I'm Sharifah Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Three-year prison sentence on former Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan. The President says the ancient standards of architecture in the island will have to be restored. The Yal Nila Odyssey train journey to Kankesanturai and the Saturday Express Odyssey journey to Sitavaka. Old newspapers which earn dollars. The possibilities of using a wild roaming elephant to attract tourists to the country have been pointed out. A fuel ship carrying a Russian flag has been attacked by Ukraine in the Black Sea. On those and other stories in detail now. President Ranil Wickremesinghe reiterates the need for the re-establishment of the standards of the ancient architectural skills which has bestowed excellent creations to the world.
The President also stresses the importance to restructure the architectural field to suit the future climatic changes. The President has made these remarks addressing International Seminar of Domestic Architects in Colombo this morning. The event was conducted under the theme Sustainable Impact on House Architecture. The seminar was jointly organized by the British Royal Institute of Architecture Professionals, the Sri Lanka America Architectural Institute and the Office of the Italian Embassy in Sri Lanka. Around 350 local and architectural professionals in the southern and Southeast Asian countries have attended the event.
So at a time when the construction industry is down, for a long time, the last 2 years has seen the impact of the crisis on the construction industry and thousands of people losing their jobs. The number of projects available also has reduced. We've had an economy before that which was basically a large extent concrete. But the concrete went in on roads and irrigation works, and those debts have to be repaid, part of the reasons for the crisis. It doesn't mean that we have to stop construction, but it means that when we have to restructure the economy, the restructuring will also mean emphasis on other places. The construction, we'd like to see it start again, but it won't come to the level it was earlier. And we have also to promote our construction companies to look abroad for work. But there will be other areas which will come up because our policy thrust is to get the private sector in on the areas of construction of buildings, of houses that come along. These are some of the ideas, and as the economy picks up, certainly there will be more skyscrapers, more high-rise buildings, and more houses which people will build. But we have to plan out where we do it, and how we do it, and how we develop our own transport system. So this is where I feel the future is, and this is where we have to work. I hope in time to come, even Port City will give an opportunity of designing. Part of the Port City land belongs to the government, and we will be also giving it out. I hope the private sector who takes part will also make use of your talent. So these are the opportunities that are coming in for Sri Lanka. We should make use of it to make a name for ourselves. Remember, there's going to be opportunity in India as it grows. If you have a name, why not go there? Already some are designing houses there into Africa. So ensure that we use this opportunity for architects to develop themselves. We can make Colombo a very beautiful city. Already Subhan Ajurong has given us that plan. So on that we go ahead. We've also got another Subhan Ajurong layout for Trincomalee. So that's another area. Then they'll also be working on a tourist zone from Verugallaru down to Batiklo and then again in the Arugambe areas. Jaffna has its potential. So as we push the tourist industry, as we go in for expansion, I hope we will also succeed in getting non-government university in Sri Lanka. The new act enabling provincial councils to establish universities is the start. And then it's a question of how much we need at least 10,000 engineers, we need more architects, we need IT specialists. Sri Lanka is committed for the climate change goals, and when I took over, the climate change goals were to be achieved in 2060. I made it to 2050. Now at this UN session, the Secretary General is asking to accelerate the agenda, looking at the fires that have taken place in Europe. So we are also looking whether we can do this prior to 2050. I think we can. Part of it depends on the resources. But from now onwards, it means that our architects will have to conform to climate change criteria. After all, I spoke at Jeffrey earlier, that Kandalama is one of the best examples. But small buildings, big buildings. So make use of it, because that means Sri Lankan architects will qualify in climate change architecture, mitigation architecture, long before others. By law, we will ask buildings in the future to comply with the climate mitigation standards. That's a new area that's coming in. And we will look at how we go ahead. On this, we can identify some of these aspects to be included in the International Climate Change University, which we hope to set up in the old Kotmale Skanska camp and the ones surrounding it. So it will be as big as the Peradeniya campus.
Deputy Chief of Mission, the US Embassy in Sri Lanka, Douglas Sonic, Acting British High Commissioner Lisa Wanstall have also attended the event.
A 3-year prison sentence was imposed on former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan today.
He has also been banned from engaging in politics for a period of 5 years, according to a verdict delivered by the Pakistani Special Court. Today, Imran Khan was arrested by the police in Lahore city this afternoon. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan was accused of misusing gifts and souvenirs received by foreign visitors during his tenure as Prime Minister. This was only one of nearly 150 cases filed against the former Prime Minister. Judge Umayyan Delawar, delivering the verdict, said that it has been proven without doubt before the judiciary that Imran Khan had acted with dishonesty. The courts have also imposed a fine of 100,000 Pakistani rupees on him. If Khan fails to pay the fine, a further 6-month prison term will be imposed on him. Attorneys at law of Imran Khan says an appeal will be filed in the High Court against the verdict. It has also been reported that Imran Khan was moved to Islamabad from Lahore city. The Pakistani media says he is scheduled to be sent to the Central Adiala prison in Rawalpindi. Imran Khan, who was elected as Prime Minister of Pakistan in August of 2018, was removed from power last April as a result of a no-confidence motion brought before Parliament.
Minister Keheliya Rambukwala says emergency buying of medicine will be fully terminated in the next few months. The minister, addressing a media briefing in Colombo yesterday, further said in order to overcome the existence of shortage of medicine in the country, emergency purchasing will be restricted only for essential purposes. The media briefing was convened in order to enlighten the relevant factions regarding the prevailing problems in the health sector. A group of officials of the health sector was present at the meeting. Minister Keheliya Rambukwala said that at a time of acute shortage of medicines in the recent past, a committee comprising of local media specialists in all fields have categorized 1,250 drugs as essential medicines for the country. Out of this number, the specialists have found that 383 were the most essential drugs. The minister has pointed out that a campaign has been waged by certain colleges regarding naming 850 drugs as essential instead of 1,250. This has created a shortage of 260 to 280 types of drugs. In order to offset the shortage, 160 types of emergency buying of drugs has taken place. The minister said that 161 types have been pointed out as urgent drugs. The minister added that in the next few months, emergency buying of drugs will be banned. The country was in debt of 40 million rupees to the suppliers. However, due to the calculated planning of the government, they have been able to resolve most of the problems pertaining to the drug shortage. Farmers of the Farmers Collective of the Udavalava scheme have commenced an agitation this morning demanding water. Riot Control Unit and the Special Task Force were called to control the situation. Currently, the Udavalava reservoir has a water capacity just 1.4% of the full capacity. As a result, more than 86,000 farmer families engaged in cultivations using waters of the Udavalava reservoir are facing extreme difficulties. Farmers who have entered the Samanalavavu Dam area due to the depletion of the Udavalava reservoir urged the responsible authorities to release a substantial quantity of the existing water capacity to the Udavalava area. The police have prevented the farmers entering the Samanalavavu Dam as it is a heavily protected area. A tense situation has been created between the police and the farmers as a result of not allowing the farmers to enter the area. The farmers have urged the police to allow them to have a discussion with the relevant authorities. Thereafter, a discussion has taken place between the police and the Samanalavavu irrigation project officials. At this occasion, the Samanalavavu project officials have stated that today is a holiday, no meeting was possible, and a meeting could be made available next Monday. Thereafter, the farmers have tried to forcefully enter the Samanalavavu main entrance. Discarded newspapers have become a source of foreign exchange earning to the country today.
It is a vital raw material needed for manufacturing purposes. Sagar Rangalenage is a successful businessman who has used this commodity to earn a substantial export revenue. The used paper and newspapers are being used to produce numerous types of baskets, packaging material, pencils and lampshades. This has become an export business of which the demand is increasing with each passing year. It is also an environmental friendly product using entirely conducive raw materials. During the COVID period, Sri Lanka has received a huge order for the industry from the United States. The Export Development Board has extended extensive support to fulfill this export order. The enterprise, which was commenced in the year 2006, has now been expanded to 6 centres in Kurunagala, Kagol, Mavatakama and Chandi. The female workforce is comprised of more than 1,200 persons. The challenge faced at present is to meet the demand. There is a substantial shortage of paper at present.
The Yalnila Odyssey Special Tourist Train operating between Colombo and Cartagena has commenced its journey from the Mount Lavinia railway station last night. The train left the station at 10 p.m. and reached the Cartagena station at 5 a.m. dawn today. The return journey to Colombo from Cartagena would commence at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. The train is expected to reach Colombo at 5:20 a.m. the following morning. The Yalnila Odyssey train is scheduled to leave for Cartagena from Colombo every Friday. In view of the festive season at the Nallur Kovil, the Yalnila Odyssey train is scheduled to engage in daily journeys from the 18th of this month until the conclusion of the ceremony. All seats are reserved and first-class compartments have air conditioning facilities. There are regular second and third-class compartments as well. Seats can be reserved online. The train journey from Mount Lavinia to Colombo Fort is on a slow pace. However, from Colombo to Cartagena, the journey is at an express level. Saturday Express Odyssey Tourist Train has commenced a new round of journeys to Sitavaka Tourist Zone today. Previously, this train operation was restricted only on Sundays. Due to the heavy passenger demand, the train will engage in operations even on Saturdays with effect from today. The maiden journey has commenced from the Colombo Fort railway station this morning. Minister Dr. Gunawardena was among those who were present to witness the commencement of the new train journey. The aim is to create professional safety of suppliers of tourist services and to streamline the unregulated tourist services in the province. Minister Dr. Gunawardena said that today marks the inauguration of a tourism promotion project in Sitavaka. He added that the train journey, which is now operating on Saturdays and Sundays, give a unique opportunity for the passengers engaged in sightseeing.
Shifting operations regarding the single tusker named Chandi is reported to have been temporarily suspended. The decision has been taken following objections raised by certain groups, including environmental organizations, regarding transporting the elephant to another area. The national television, in its main news bulletin yesterday, has published reports regarding shifting Chandi, the tusker with only the left tusk, presently roaming in the Galgamu area, to another location. The news item has further pointed out how the tusker returned into Galgamu on 3 previous occasions after being transported to other areas. This time, the authorities were planning to send Chandi to Madurai. The elephant has become blind due to cataract in one of its eyes. Therefore, researchers and environmental organizations have pointed out that it was not appropriate to bring the elephant to Madurai, as such a move would have caused a threat on the life of the animal. The Chandi elephant has already passed a lifespan of more than 50 years. Residents in Galgamu point out that there is a threat on their cultivations due to daytime roaming of the Chandi elephant in the area. They further say that there are many more elephants in the areas of Galgamu, Siambalangamu and Migalavela, which have reported or become a threat to human lives. Therefore, all these elephants have to be removed from the area in order to prevent elephant-human conflicts. This is a problem prevailing in 14 districts in the island. The specialists have reiterated the need to implement the national policy to prevent elephant-human clashes, which is prepared in the year 2020. Galgamu has become an amazing land for wildlife photographers, as many tuskers have been photographed in the area. The possibility of giving publicity in order to attract foreign tourists into the area has also been pointed out.
The AMpara District program of the New Village, New Country National Joint Participatory Development Program was presided over by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the AMpara District Secretariat yesterday. The Prime Minister on this occasion has expressed opinion regarding opening of the Bank of Ceylon accounts for eligible recipients of the Aswasma beneficiary program. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that district heads of banks are responsible regarding the opening of bank accounts. The Prime Minister has recalled that the People's Bank has passed 60 years of existence, and the bank says there are people who have been deprived of opening a bank account after 60 years as they were without houses.
State Minister of Finance Dr. Ranjit Siambalapatiya says that the Indian rupee could not be used in direct transactions within the country. He made these remarks at a media briefing in Moravatta in Ruwanvalla today. The State Minister said that if the Sri Lankan rupee could be converted to Indian rupees, that would become an incentive for Indian tourists to visit Sri Lanka. The government is engaged in this initiative with positive thinking. No person will be able to directly engage in transactions using Indian rupees in Sri Lankan establishments. First of all, he added that the Indian rupees should be converted into Sri Lankan rupees before engaging in transactions. The AMpara District electorate meeting of the United National Party was held at the Apparel Auditorium in AMpara today. General Secretary of UNP Palitha Rangebandara has presided over the meeting. The Attorneys at Law Organization of the National People's Power has also conducted a media briefing at the party headquarters today. Attorney at Law Sunil Vatalagala has also participated in the event. Mathugama electorate meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was presided over by General Secretary of the party Sagara Karyavasam today. Leader of the opposition Sajid Premadasa has venerated the sacred tooth relic of the Sri Dalada Maligava today. We now move on to more local news in brief. Wildlife officials have taken measures to chase away 3 wild elephants which arrived in Vitarandenia in Tangol. The 3 beasts were reported to have been trapped in a minor strip of land upon a day-long operation. The elephants were forced to flee to the Rekava area. The Tangal police says the 3 elephants have reached Sinimodara along the beachfront. The police have taken into custody 3 persons in a motor car believed to have travelled in the Southern Expressway using forged number plates in Valipanna. The police have also apprehended several bags of chili powder found in the vehicle. An inquiry has commenced to ascertain whether the passengers were preparing for some criminal act. The Panadura South Police Station has raided a centre engaged in preparing illegal and forged registration number plates of motorcycles. The raid was conducted using a ploy in the ground floor of a 2-storied house in Malamulla. Panadura engaged in this illegal activity. 3 water projects have been vested with the people to fulfill drinking water requirements in the Vavuniya district today. A sum of more than 5 million rupees have been spent on the project under the instructions of the State Minister Sanat Nishanta. 4.804 grams of narcotics have been found in the possession of a suspect in Pesula Mannar. The suspect was nabbed by the officials of the Northern Province Special Raiding Unit established at the Mannar Special Task Force camp. A ship carrying a consignment of 18,000 metric tons of urea granular fertilizer has reached the Colombo harbour last night. The stock was imported from Vietnam under World Bank aid. Distribution of fertilizer has commenced this morning. The Sri Lanka Embassy in Washington, USA has recently conducted a ceremony to commemorate Colonel Henry Steele Olcott in connection with celebrations of 75 years of diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and the USA. Sri Lankan ambassador in the US, Mahinda Samarsinghe, has presided over the event.
Welcome back, and on foreign news, a Russian tanker with 11 crew members has been hit in a Ukrainian attack in the Black Sea.
Russian officials said the vessel's engine room was damaged in the overnight strike in the Kerch Strait. No one was hurt. Ukraine has not publicly commented, but a Ukrainian security service source told a sea drone had been used. Today's attack is the second in as many days involving such weapons. Russia, however, has not admitted any damage during the attack. The Ukrainian security service reportedly said the operation was also conducted jointly with the Ukrainian Navy and that 450 kilograms of TNT explosive had been used. The tanker was loaded with fuel, they said, so the fireworks were visible from afar, and Russia's Maritime Transport Agency says the SIG tanker was located 27 kilometers south of the Crimean Bridge.
And on sports news, the Dambulla Aura team had beat the Colombo Strikers team by 10 runs to win today's match of the LPL cricket tournament at the Pallekele International Stadium.
The Dambulla Aura team, batting first, has scored 192 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in the 20 allotted overs. Captain Kusal Mendis, in an excellent inning, has scored 87 runs, facing 46 deliveries. His score has included 4 boundaries and 8 sixes. Sadira Samaravikrama has scored 59. Matisha Pathiruna took 3 wickets for 31 runs. The Colombo Strikers team score at the end of 20 overs was restricted to 182 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Nuwanindu Fernando hit 56 runs, facing 39 deliveries. Babar Azam 41. Noor Ahmed took 2 wickets.
The office for Karunaratne.
Royal College Colombo has won the 2023 Bradby Cup Rugby Tournament, beating Trinity College Chandi today. The match was conducted for the 77th occasion.
In the second leg of the tournament conducted at the Royal College grounds today, Royal has emerged victorious with a margin of 27-17. In the first leg of the tournament played earlier, Royal College has also won by 13-10. Both teams were evenly poised since the commencement of the match today. At the end of the first half, Royal was leading 17-10. In the second half, Royal has added 10 more points in opposition to the 7 points earned by the Trinity team. With the addition points in both legs of the tournament, the Royal College team has become the overall victors of the Bradby Cup by 37-30. This was the 5th occasion Royal winning the trophy continuously and the 36th Royal victory against Trinity in the Bradby Cup tournament. The Army Signals Corps has been successful in winning men's trophy in the Army Inter-Regimental Rugby Tournament. The Army Common Services Task Force has won the women's trophy. Finals of both matches were conducted at the Army Rugby Grounds in Panagoda yesterday, and in the men's finals, Army Signal Corps beat the Common Services Task Force by 19-17. In the women's final, Army Female Task Force beat the Common Services Task Force by 17-5. The best player in the tournament was Lance Corporal D.G.C. Javikramo of the Army Signal Corps. The best female player was a female soldier of the Common Services Task Force K.A.N. Kahandava. Financial prizes were presented to the Army sportsmen and women who won medals for the Sri Lanka at the Asian Athletic Tournament in Thailand, the Para Athletic Tournament in Paris, and the Commonwealth Weightlifting Tournament held in India.
And that's all the news for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow.